I'm going to show you the method, the Google method for writing articles, because if you can write an article well for Google, then it's going to work well for the HubPages ad program too. So I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do tonight is, between us, we're going to start writing an article. I'll show you the method for writing an article, which I planned on doing in week 2, and we kind of pushed it back a bit. So let's start with, okay, between the 4 of us, we are going to come up with the most amazing title ever for, I'm not going to write the article, we're just going to write the title and launch it. So let's pretend that we're writing an article between the 4 of us. What shall we write about? Give me a topic.
Do you want most popular?
Give me a topic and I'll show you how to fine-tune it.
Radiation.
Yeah,
literally.
Okay. Okay, well, we could write about radiation for Japan. Okay, I don't want to do radiation because I want an evergreen topic, actually. So let's reject that and write about something else.
Evergreen. Composting? Wow.
Parenting's always a good
Okay.
one.
What's this composting toilet? Okay. Maybe we want to do a product review on a composting toilet. No, I'm serious. I'm being serious here. I'm being serious here.
Well, George Washington had a composting toilet outside of Mount Vernon.
Did he really?
Okay.
You
Way ahead
betcha.
of his time.
No, that's just where they got their compost.
Okay. Google says there's 376,000 results for composting toilet. Okay, and I bet you it's got to be. I bet you no one else has written a hub on HubPages. Composting toilet. So remember my, here we go, build a composting toilet. We got 127 articles actually.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's not such composting toilets. It's not for, okay, that surprised you, doesn't it? Because remember my wheelbarrow?
Right.
There was like 20. So do we want to write about composting toilet or should we find another topic?
Find something else green.
Okay.
That's green.
Okay. Composting toilet DIY. Okay, let's look at composting in winter. So we're up to 1 million. Okay, actually it's not a subject I know much about. Composting in winter. Give me a difficult topic here, Teresa. Composting 101. So I don't really want a composting 101. I don't want a basic how-to. I want something like, okay, let's do composting with worms and kids. How to get kids to compost with worms. Okay, we're down to 93,000. Okay, which is a bit less than our composting toilet. Let's go over to HubPages and see if anyone's written about how to get your kids to compost with worms. 17. Okay?
Ooh.
So this is a bit more of a niche topic. This is a bit more specialist. And this is the sort of article that you want to write. Now, let's go over to the Google AdWords tool, which I have mentioned in the past, but I haven't really shown you how it works. You need to have an account and you need to sign in. I sign in automatically like that. So I'm going to take the words composting, worms and kids, and I'm going to see if there's any advertisers linked to these words. Okay. I like it.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Okay. Now what we're looking for is 70 to 80% here, 1,000 to 10,000 here, and over $1 here, $1 to 10. Because if it's too high, it's not good. So when I write my article, so I'm not actually going to write my article because I don't know anything about composting for kids with worms, but feel free, go home. I want to, the ones I'm really interested in, the words I'm really interested in using is tumbler compost bin and tumbling composter, compost barrels, home composters. I'm not interested where there's a 320, where there's anything below 1,000. I'm interested in 1,000 to 10,000 here, and I might be interested in these 27,000. Now, if these were all full, I wouldn't be interested in the topic. If these are all below $1, I wouldn't write the article. If this is full, this is competition. This means that somebody is paying $7.73 for an advert on a back porch compost tumbler, and they have available money and they are not spending it all. When it's full, they have available money and they're spending it all. So I like this topic because, look, I really wish I knew some more about this topic. Sometimes I just accidentally find a topic and I know nothing about it, and I'll go and research and write an article. And I might actually do that now because I actually like the look of this
I know, I was tempted too.
topic. So sometimes you can do a Google search. Now, if I do that, if I do research for 1 to 3 hours, I'll write 3 articles and I'll post one on HubPages, one on InfoBarrel, one on Zomba, but 3 different articles on the same topic. If I have knowledge, I can write about homeschooling, or I can just type a 400-word article very quickly, put it on HubPages, forget about it. But if I do the research, I want more than one article. So I'll write an article, and then I'll write a different article, and then another, and I will put it up in 3 places. So I like this topic that we've searched for. HubPages, the 17 results. So look, Composting 101, Worm Composting for Kids. That's a great title, and that's why that one's come up first. Okay? Teaching your kids about worm life cycle and how composting works. The music video for kids is hilarious. The title's slightly too long, but it makes me want to go and click on it and watch the music video. Yeah. So I would criticize the title, but actually it's a good title. And things you need to know. So actually, looking at the 17 results, only the first 2 are on the topic. Remember, we had that with the wheelbarrow. Only 1 was on the topic. And the rest of the 17 have come up because it's kind of on the topic, but not specifically on that topic. So that's how you get a topic. Do you want to do should we do another one? Just to...
Sure, yeah.
Okay, give me something very random.
Tandem bicycle.
Sorry?
Tandem bicycles.
Oh,
I've been looking at 3 wheelers for adults.
okay. Tandem bikes, okay. That's nearly 1 million. Okay, let's do tandem bikes in Australia. Okay. 356,000. Okay.
Rentals.
Yeah. Now, if you had gone to Australia and rented a tandem bike, that is totally the sort of thing you want to write about. If there's a rental bike company in Australia who wants to pay for a Google ad, okay, that's what we're hoping for. Let's copy it over to HubPages, and I do play a lot with titles. Okay, nobody's written on HubPages, which is kind of exciting, except let's check out Google. Okay, and I do this a lot with it helps just to put different words on different lines, because then it picks them up as different words. It put this in red. I was checking my spelling. Maybe it's just because I haven't capitalized.
Australian?
Yeah, Australia. It's spelt correctly. Okay, so what we've got here, I don't like this topic as much because this is way too low. Okay, so we actually haven't found a tandem bike company that rents bikes in Australia. Now, this is where I wouldn't do the research and write the article. I would only write the article if I really had experience of a tandem bike in Australia. You know, it might be possible, we could just look at this. Renting bikes in Australia might be a good topic next. Tandem was kind of a silly topic. Okay, we got car rental. Car rental people are always... and see these figures? These are a little too high. I liked our last topic better. These figures are a little low and these figures are a little high. I like these figures though. But look at the adverts, it's all car rental. So if you write an article about bike rental and an advert for car rental comes up, the person that reads your article is not going to click on the ad. You want to write about bike rental and have a bike ad come up.
Try putting bicycle rather than bikes in the top.
Okay. That's a good point. Here we go. Rental cheap bike,
Beach
Australia.
bikes.
Beach bikes. Okay. But the money's a little low. Okay.
Put in Queensland. My best friend lives over there, so on the beach. So I need to get her one.
Okay. Now,
Anything? Gold Coast
Okay.
accommodations. Because you want tourists.
if you ever do a travel article, here's a good hint. Always put in as a keyword the word hotel, because hotels advertise like crazy. Every one of your travel articles.
I stayed in a hotel the night before last.
Right.
In San Diego. And I'm going to do an article on the zoo.
Use the word concierges are wonderful at the hotels these days. I don't know if that word would help,
But if you put in the word hotel, you get a hotel ad. And if you're writing about travel,
In the name or in the article?
Hilton or
in the tag,
On the text, okay.
yeah, in the tags at the side. So we want to write an article about bike riding in Australia. We're still getting car rental adverts coming. So these are the adverts that will come up when you write an article on this topic. Okay? Now, I want to go back to our composting. What were we doing? Composting kids and worms. Okay. I know. How to compost your kids with worms.
gingerbread.
How to teach your worms to compost your kids.
Bury the children.
Okay, I like this. Between us, we're going to come up with a title for our wonderful article that we are going to write. Okay, so I want you to think of a phrase, and we're looking for 5 keywords. And our topic is composting, worms, and teaching kids. Maybe we want the
So
word.
how to, you said was...
How to is always a really good. If how to in the title is really good, and if it's a how to article, put how to in the tags. Okay.
Teach
Yeah.
your toddler to tumble the compost pile.
We could put toddler.
Toddler tumblers, toddler compost tumblers.
There's also kids and children as well. See, this is back porch. Oh, back porch compost tumbler. See, I think there's a company. Yeah, see, you want tumbler.
My cousin has one of those in her condo in Los
There is-
Angeles, the tumbler in the back porch.
Okay,
She loves it and it doesn't smell.
look at this. There is a company here that makes tumblers and they're paying for adverts. Now, the thing I really have to stress is these adverts and these prices are not fixed. So you write an article today and the tumbler company is paying lots of money, and then they've sold enough products and they don't pay for any more Google ads. And it's worthwhile going back into old articles. That's why you write an evergreen article. You can write about Japan and everyone will read it in the next week or month, and a year from now no one wants to read it. So that's why we say evergreen articles. But looks to me like there is someone here who's we had composting. Okay, looks to me like there's someone who has a composting tumbler, and it might be worth copy. I'll show you my article in 2 weeks' time, because I like this topic. It might be worth checking them out on Amazon. Okay, I have no idea what a composting tumbler is.
There you go.
Okay, look, these are things that cost over $100. Okay.
Yes.
I feel the urge to do a product review
too,
article going on.
I have.
Suddenly there's going to be
after a
4.
compost tumbler.
There's going to be 4 articles on compost tumblers on HubPages in 1 week. All coming from Pleasanton. Okay. Now, I know nothing about these things, so if I'm going to do the research, I am going to go here and I am going to read everyone else's review, and I'm going to form my opinion, and I'm going to write my review on HubPages. So you could write an article about composters, tumbling composters in general, or what I'm feeling the urge to do right now is to write about you saw my electric scooters for the disabled. No, the idea is to write an article about it, not buy one.
Oh, I know. I'm just flabbergasted because I have an 8 cubic foot freezer. Can you imagine how big that must be? Oh my goodness.
Okay, so listen, if anyone does write an article, just send it to me and I'll send it out to everyone. So, or just do a send to all or something. So if everyone actually does this, but this is what I do. I discovered something mountain coffee, K coffee, mountain blend or something was a high-paying keyword, and I wrote an article about coffee. Okay, so this is how you find your keywords. I find this type of article, when you then go and do research, harder than, I went to San Diego Zoo for the day and we did this, because it can just churn those out really easily. So this takes a bit more work, and if I do a few of these, I get slightly demotivated. So you have to balance with the ones that you.
That's why I'm doing the cancer ones and the travel ones, because the travel ones are so delightful to do, and the
Right.
cancer ones are so yucky to do.
Right.
They're not
So
yucky.
yeah, mix.
There's a lot of
Definitely.
stuff about cancer that seems icky that you can get rid of.
There is just a lot of stuff about cancer. that's
Right,
just-
and people are searching the internet and they want to know, and they want to know about your experience.
That's why I know I
and-
have to write those things. But
Right. So
so
I will leave that with you as an idea of a good topic, but I'm serious. Mess about on Google search, and it's called Google Suggest, so you can go Australia. What can I write about Australia? So you put a word in, and then it gives you suggestions, and then see how many there are on Google, how many there are on HubPages. The number's usually here. And then this is important. So you need people searching for it, and when they find your topic, adverts that are nice paying. Okay.
So we have to sign up with Google AdWords first.
Yes. You need to sign up with Google AdWords. Just go to, it's here.
Okay.
Choose a title, check your title in the keyword tool. AdWords, go here and just open an account. Doesn't cost you anything. But I just suggest there's 3 Google accounts you need to open. Just use the same user word and password, otherwise you'll get confused. Which Google account is this that I have? Then write your article, and then we actually haven't done a nice title yet, but when you've written your first paragraph, take the whole paragraph and put it back in here, just as a paragraph. Just a minute. Take this will be your whole paragraph, and do another search and see, because it's the title, the URL, and the first paragraph that Google makes the decisions on what it's going to advertise. So if this was my first paragraph, then it would come up with these ads. So put your first paragraph back in, and that also gives you a hint as to what tags to put at the side. So if you have first paragraph like this, you want to put like these 3 words together as a tag, and then this group of words together as a tag, okay? And then these as tags. Maximum tags right now is 40. I predict a year from now they'll make the maximum number of tags 30.
Because somewhere that I read on HubPage, it says don't clutter it up with too many tags.
Right. I clutter it with too many tags. Yes. Some people say only to use 5 tags. They did have it on 50, and all my articles had 50, and they changed it to 40, and I had to knock a load of tags off. So my prediction is they're going to knock it down to 30 and maybe 20. So right now don't put 40 on, because it'll just cause you work later on. Okay, so before you've uploaded it, put your first paragraph in and see if you need to make changes to that first paragraph. Then upload your article, and then, have I shown you this, when once you've uploaded an article, just to put, you see, doing classes every other week, I can't remember what I've told you, what I've not. Have I shown you this site?
I think you did, but we go to have
I think it was week 2.
Yeah.
So when you've written an article, how did I get there? I'll send you the link. I just remember that. So let me go to HubPages and find one of my random articles, like this one, and I will, in fact, I'll do it the last one I published, because I haven't done that one yet. 3, 6, 11. Copy link. So you pick up the URL, and then you paste the URL here, and then you just try and read this, which I can never read. CARNISE. Yeah, if it's incorrect, this page will just reappear. So add URL, and I've added it, and it says thank you. If I entered it incorrectly, it would have gone back to that page, and it would have been blank. So I have now told Google that my URL exists. If I don't do that, Google finds it, in a couple of weeks or a month's time. I'm just telling Google a little sooner that my URL exists. So always do that as soon as you've written an article, and then always go back and add tags. So that's just go through this Tina's Google method for writing articles. Do this, then this, then this, then this every time you write an article. It helps to write multiple related hubs together. And then, now, if you write hub A, and then you write hub B, and in hub A, you put a link to hub B, and in hub B, you put a link to hub A, Google will ignore both articles. Okay, so do not do that. You have to write A, and when you've written A, write B and link to A. Then write C and link to B. And write D and link to C. Okay, and I try, as I write an article, to link, because you forget what you've done. I try, when I write an article, to link to articles that I've written prior to that one. And so I'm always going from current to previous, because if you link 2 ways, and even if you go A to B to C and back to A again, Google can ignore it. So just be careful that you don't link, like if I link to Teresa, she links to me, Google says, oh, this is trashy, and it doesn't, and it lowers it in searches.